He wasn't driven by rage. He wasn't acting on impulse. He hunted, calmly, deliberately, and with terrifying precision. For over a decade, Israel Keyes traveled across the United States, leaving behind a trail of victims, but no clear pattern. He built kill kits and buried them across the country. Cash, weapons, duct tape, waiting years before using them. He didn't want fame or credit. He wanted control. And by the time the FBI realized what they were dealing with, the trail had already gone cold. I'm the Morbid Historian, and today we're diving into one of the most chilling cases of methodical evil in modern history. The story of Israel Keyes, a man who defied the very definition of a serial killer. Israel Keyes was born in 1978 in Cove, Utah, the second of 10 children in a strict, isolated household. His family rejected modern institutions, including public schools and organized religion, before later joining a white supremacist Christian identity church. From a young age, Keyes showed signs of detachment from empathy. By his teenage years, he was breaking into homes, killing animals, and learning to survive alone in the wilderness around Colville, Washington. He joined the U.S. Army in 1998, serving until 2001. To his fellow soldiers, he was quiet, reliable, even likable. But behind that mask, Keyes was already forming his philosophy, that life and death were simply tools for his amusement. Unlike most serial killers, Keyes didn't stalk his local area. He understood that proximity was the downfall of most murderers, so he became nomadic. He flew across states, rented cars, and paid in cash. Years before his crimes, he buried kill kits in random, remote places. Buckets filled with tools, weapons, and supplies. When the time felt right, he'd return, dig them up, and pick his next victim, whoever happened to cross his path. There was no pattern, no type, no motive, just opportunity. He once told investigators, "You can't catch a predator who has no routine." This made him nearly impossible to trace. Keyes claimed to have killed across the U.S., Vermont, New York, Washington, Alaska, and others, but only a few victims have been definitively linked to him. His most well-documented murder was Sarah Koenig, an 18-year-old barista from Anchorage, Alaska, abducted in February 2012. Keyes kept her bank card, used it to withdraw cash while traveling across several states, and even staged a photograph to suggest she was alive. He was finally caught in Texas, after a traffic stop linked his rental car to those ATM withdrawals. When the FBI began questioning him, they realized they had stumbled onto something much darker. Keyes wasn't just a killer, he was a student of other killers. He had studied Bundy, admired meticulous criminals, and tailored his life around deception. He told agents he didn't want to be predictable, and that he liked watching the panic. Keyes cooperated with investigators, but only on his own terms. He gave them small pieces of information, vague hints about locations, and never full names. At one point he claimed to have at least 11 victims, but his calm tone made it clear even that number could be misleading. The FBI's Behavioral Analysis Unit described him as one of the most organized offenders they had ever encountered. He showed no remorse, no thrill, no anger, just control. On December 2nd, 2012, while awaiting trial in Anchorage, Israel Keyes took his own life in his jail cell. He left behind an 11-page note, a rambling mix of poetry, confession, and nihilism, but no clues about his victims or the locations of his hidden caches. After his death, the FBI launched one of the largest multi-state investigations in modern history, trying to piece together his movements. They found evidence of at least 2 confirmed murders: Bill and Lorraine Currier, a couple from Vermont, and a dozen missing persons who may fit his profile. But many of his caches, scattered across remote wilderness, may still be undiscovered. His case continues to haunt law enforcement, because Keys proved something terrifying. A killer doesn't need to be caught to disappear. He can walk among us, smile at the cashier, rent a car, bury a secret, and move on. Israel Keys wanted control over life and death, and in a way, he got it. Even in death, he remains an unsolved puzzle, with victims still missing and questions still unanswered. And that's the most unsettling part. His story didn't end, it just went underground. Thanks for joining us on this journey. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss out on our next descent into the past. We'll see you next time.